just the way it is. It's just the way I am as a person. I don't really people think. Good morning. Evelyn Churan here from Churan's Tiny Homestead or Evelyn's Home Cooking Canada. Okay, so today the driller is showing up around noon. I'm actually waiting for his text message, and we're going to be looking at where to drill. And that'll give me ideas of where the plumbing will go for the bathhouse. I'm still a long ways off. So anyways, the guy that I found is from Sturgeon Falls. He's ranging me about $21,000, where a company in Sudbury was going to charge me $35,000. So this guy works with the clients. Apparently, his grandfather started this company. This is 3 generations down now. And they've got three or four wells on my road that they did over 100 years ago. That's how long this town has been here. And apparently the wells are still pumping fine with no maintenance. So the wells that he has done in the past that he's aware of, one was 270 feet, the other one was 370 feet. So I'm going to be between those two. And it gets charged by the foot, obviously. And they have to go through lots of clay. Then they have to go through bedrock. Then they go to the natural spring. Now there is water here. It's just finding where it is and having it closest to the cabin as possible. And one of the questions I did ask him was, if I build a second dwelling on this property, will we be able to use the same well for the second dwelling? And he said, yes, you just have to dig 3 feet down, run your pipes, hook it up to the house. So that's good to know for the future. Maybe I'll dig it right away and put 2 pump houses. I don't know. And that way it'll be ready for the second build. I have no idea what I'm doing right now. The cost is so damn expensive. Like, I've got this tiny little itty bitty cabin and I'm tripping over myself. And I lived in smaller for 25 years in camps, but they supplied that we had a separate area for a kitchen, separate area for showers and things like that. So you weren't really tripping over each other unless the camp was packed at, 5,000 people or whatever the case was. We had one site I worked at, we were cooking for 12,500 people, and I would bounce between 4 different camps. At one point, I had 4 different rooms, and I had a room in every camp with a uniform in each room because I bounced around so much, and they would fluctuate my shifts so much that I couldn't even think straight. And that's one of the damages I got from work. So anyways, the driller's coming in today. My brother's going to be meeting with him also to make sure that things are being done right, because I've never built a house. I've never developed a property before, not to this extreme. I've set up and tore down camps. I've overseen the safety of that stuff, overseen my staff when I was chef manager. But now it's just my property that I'm overseeing and managing. But I don't do any of the build. I have to hire people to do everything. So the cost of hiring people is superseding the cost of the supplies. I can get all the building supplies. I can order that myself, have it delivered, pay for it. That's not the problem. The problem is the labor cost. The labor cost is superseding. And all the contractors I've gotten, every single one of them, not one of them have completed their jobs. It doesn't matter who the contractor was. I've got so many things that are unfinished from the first 3 contractors. I got like 5 projects on the go that are incomplete. So I try to put whatever I can by myself, but it's very painful for me because I can barely walk through the day. I'm limping all the time. It doesn't matter what kind of boots or shoes I buy. My feet my ankles are really bad. Anyways, got my appointments for a specialist. Now, me as a person, I've had to give up people from my past from sticking their noses in my business. First of all, I'm not a people person. Really, I'm not. When I worked as a chef, as a cook, as a manager, I had to be a people person. That's what I was paid to do. But on my time off, I wanted nothing to do with anybody. I keep to myself. I don't like all kinds of drama. in my life. I don't want all kinds of people hanging around here. Um, I'm not interested in meeting people. I'm not interested in a pile of friends hanging around. I like my privacy. My personal life is my personal life, and it's nobody's business. Um, I'm not into going to hotels, restaurants, all that kind of stuff. I worked in it for 40 years of my life. 45 years of my life, I've been in the hotel and restaurant industry and travel tourism. Uh, I'm retired now. I want nothing to do with it. So when people say to me, it's not normal not to have a husband or a spouse, it's normal for me. When people say, how are you going to live out there when you're old and you can't go to the bathroom? Well, like anybody else, I'm going to end up in an old age home. When you can't go to the bathroom and you can't take care of yourself anymore, you're going to end up in an old age home like everybody else. Um, that's life, unless you move in with one of your family members. I mean, if your family's willing to take you in and take care of you till your dying day, good for you. But I don't have those options. So my option is to go to an old age home when I can't take care of myself, or I can bring home nursing into my home. We have that going on here in Ontario, where if you have to do blood work or you need home nursing or anything like that, you can get that in your home here. And I'm not that far off grid that I can't have home nursing here. I can have a nurse come in 3, 4 times a week, sometimes 5 times, depending on your situation. They come in, they check on you. If it's blood work, they take your blood, they get in their cars and they leave. And that's all there is to it. Plus, I got my dog. I don't want my neighbors hanging around my property. I am a very private person. I don't want people in my business. When people want to come and visit me, I want them to tell me ahead of time that they're coming, because I've got a dog and my dog jumps all over everybody. So I need to put him away till I can calm him down while the people are here. It takes me 5-10 minutes, but I don't want any trouble either. And I'm not getting rid of my dog for you. So on that note, self-sufficiency. I've never, ever, ever been one to go and spend money in a restaurant or a hotel. If I stayed in a hotel, it was because I was bouncing around all over the place with work. Do I want to do travel tourism? Absolutely not. Would I spend my money going to Costa Rica? No. Why would I spend my money to go stay in a hotel in Costa Rica when I've been in the hotel industry my whole life? The last place I want to be is with travel and tourism. This to me is a nurturing life, living in the bush, growing my own food. I don't go to grocery stores on a weekly basis. It's a waste of money for me. I go out once every second month to do supply shopping. I mean, I can go every week, but I don't feel it necessary for me. Do I need 50 people around me? Do I need to be the center of attention? No, it's not my lifestyle. So a lot of people don't understand who I am, and they can't seem to get it through their heads. How you live, that's your business. But how I live is my business. And if you don't like the way I live, well, then don't pay attention to me. I really don't care. I don't need human contact to live a normal life. I hire contractors to do the work. I have lots of people that come and go here. I have groundskeepers because I can't do the work on my own. First of all, I was never trained in it. Number 2, I don't have the equipment for it. And number 3, it's cheaper to hire people to take care of the grounds than it is for me to purchase equipment. A push lawnmower, it's 2 acres of land. You would never get it done. You'd be cutting the grass like every day of the week. And I'm not interested in that. I've got too many injuries. Now, I put a cheap swimming pool on the property inside of a hothouse so I can go swimming every day to exercise my ankles and my legs because they're in so much pain. And I know that swimming is the best exercise for workplace injuries. And I know that years and years ago with therapy. And so that's what I do for my therapy. And it helps me get rest. It tires me out quicker because I don't sleep. I have a sleep disorder. So I don't, I mean, 7 o'clock at night, I'm in bed. I put on a movie and I'm gone to bed. And I'm trying to readjust to life to sleeping at night and being awake during the day. And it's not there yet. I have to get medical attention in order to regulate myself to sleep, let alone to drive. My anxiety is all over the place. I've gone through lots of bad stuff in my career to where I don't trust people anymore, and rightfully so. And that's my God given right. If I don't want to trust people, that's my business. I mean, people only know me to take advantage of me or cut me down or call me names or demean me. So, why would I want them in my life? So, I've given up a lot of people from my past because I do have boundaries. And if you can't respect me, then you don't need me in your life. I'm not rude to you. Don't be rude to me. If you're going to be rude to me, that's a red flag, and I'm just going to let go of you, and you won't be a part of my life anymore. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're Queen Elizabeth. If you're going to be rude to me, then you're not welcome in my life. I don't need that. Anyways, on that note, with the build, back to the build. I know I'm kind of all over the place here. So the driller is coming at noon today to tell me what spot it's going to be and give me a roundabout idea of how many feet he's going to have to go. I think he's got a pretty good idea because he knows the area, this man, and his family's been involved with this area for over 100 years. And I'm not giving up my property and I'm not moving. I don't want to live in the city. I don't want to be around traffic. I don't want to hear sirens every day with police cars and fire trucks, and I can't handle the noise. I hate noise. I stood under fans my whole life working in those kitchens. My ears hum. I got tinnitus from work. It never goes away. You've always got that buzzing in your ears. And any loud, high pitched noises just stings. It's like piercing in my ears. So I don't want that in my life. And I think the property I bought, I'm not regretting it. I'm just under 2 acres. It's just a tiny homestead, but I am agricultural farming. So if I wanted to put animals on my property, I can. But I'm not going to go that way because the property is not big enough for livestock. I mean, I could do chickens, but I've got a dog and I'm not into training him not to eat my chickens. Furthermore, I would like to have the property fenced off with a privacy fence all the way around. And if I can't have that, I'm definitely not putting livestock. Like maybe I would put a goat. I don't know, maybe 2 goats and learn how to milk. But right now, it's not an option. Right now, there's farming all around me. Me and a couple of girls that I've met since I live here, we exchange products, right? So if they need help with food, I give them a case of food that's home canned food that I've made. Um, Vice versa, if they have chickens that are laying hens, they bring me a couple of dozen of eggs. So we do like a barter system here in Marks Day and surrounding areas. We help each other. We don't hurt each other. This is a farming community of only 2,500 people. Now, I'm semi off grid. I did run hydro that cost me $21,000 by the time the dig was done. And, I had to help with a lot of the work to save on cost. And I'll tell you, I was sore for 3 days of doing that. I was sore. And so I'm going through a lot of that stuff. There are a lot of things I have to do, but I'm not able to go back to work. Mentally, I panic really bad when I have to be around people. I went to Costco once for shopping just to get the bulk toilet paper on sale. And I'll tell you, I'll spend the extra $10 on toilet paper before I go back to Costco. All I saw was fire hazard. I can't believe the firefighters have not given Costco fines in Sudbury because of the simple fact that when you go into Costco in Sudbury, I'm talking jam packed with people. And if there was ever a fire, oh my God, you would never get out alive. It's that packed. And to me, it's a hazard waiting to happen. I don't know. With me, with camps, in the dining rooms, we always had licenses we had to apply for. When I was chef manager, I had to get those licenses through whatever township we fell under with the camps. And it says right on the license what your head count is allowed to be inside of that building at one time. And I don't even know where their permits are for Costco, but I sure would love to see it because I'll tell you, they overpack that store and it is so freaking dangerous. And when I went to Costco and I saw that, oh my God, my anxiety was through the roof. It triggered me like you wouldn't believe. All I pictured was the building burning down and nobody being able to get out. And that's who I am now. I worked with a lot of safety. We had to follow a lot of safety in the camps and the work camps that I worked at. And it's opened my eyes to the dangers and what could happen. Even though it doesn't happen, it's viable that it can happen. And because it's viable that it can happen, and it has happened in other countries or even in Canada or the States where people couldn't get out because of fire, I avoid those kinds of buildings. Any stores that are like that, where I don't see 3, 4 entrance exits, if I can't visually see those exits, I'm not using that store. It's just, it freaks me out that much. So my anxiety and my PTSD, well, it's actually complex post-traumatic stress injury. I also see more red flags now than I've ever seen in my life. I recognize abuse better. I recognize verbal abuse, mental abuse, physical abuse, like this. And red flags are popping up in front of me all over the place lately. And I'm setting boundaries. Now, I've never ever been one to be rude to people, and I've taken a lot of crap from people, and kept my mouth shut. Well, guess what? I'm not keeping my mouth shut anymore. The new me is, you know what? I don't need you in my life. So if I see red flags or anything that triggers me, I have to cut you out of my life. I can't have that in my life anymore because it's negative energy and it builds anxiety in me and it triggers my CPTSD. And so I cannot have any negativity around me. If people want to gossip about other people, go talk to somebody else about it because I really don't want to hear it. It's not my thing. I don't care what people do in their homes. I don't care how people live. It's none of my business. And that goes for me. How I live is my business, not everybody else's. Nobody has a right to tell me that I have to have a spouse. Nobody has a right to tell me how I have to live. Nobody has a right to gossip about me and my family. And if that's all you have to do in your life, well, then I feel sorry for you because you know what? There's all kinds of people in the world. And until you walk in God's shoes, you don't have a right to judge anybody because you're not God. And if you're a practicing Christian and you think you're a Christian or you're trying to convince yourself that you are, to be abusive towards other people, that doesn't make you a Christian. That just makes you rude. And if you want to hide behind the church because you're rude and you think hiding behind the church is going to change what your personality is, it isn't. You're still the same person and you're still rude and you're still a bully. And those are the kinds of people I'm keeping out of my life. I mean, I don't owe you anything. And I don't know any of them apologies. I don't care who they are. I don't care what they do with their life. And if they have to cut people down to make themselves feel better, then you know what? Those aren't the people I want in my life. I don't judge people until you push me. And if you push me too far, it's not even an argument anymore. It's, you know what? I wish you the best of luck. I'm blocking your number. Don't contact me. Don't visit me. Don't even look at me on the street because I won't even acknowledge that you're there because I don't even know you. And I just don't want that kind of flack in my life. I'm a very honest, loyal person, and I'll help anybody that needs help if I can help them. I'm not rich. Um, I don't like being taken advantage of, and I'm putting a stop to it. And if people don't like it and they're worried about me, well, they're not that worried about me because not one of them came here to help me. Not one of them helped me move. When I helped all of them, never even come to see what my place is like, never even stopped by with a pot of coffee or nothing. Nobody showed up to come and help me except for one or two people. And, those were people that are 10 times poorer than the ones that I helped. So that kind of blows me away because the person that's the poorest is the one that showed up and said, "Welcome home," and brought me a little container of spices, or, like oregano, basil, a little planter. I mean, this poor girl, you know, an old friend of mine, she's not rich. And she managed to pinch pennies together to show up with a housewarming gift and say, "Welcome home, Evelyn." Everybody else got me to do work on their property before I bought this, never paid me, never repaid me, and never ever offered me help. So those are the people I don't want in my life. Once bitten, twice shy. So it took me a couple of years to weed out who I do not want in my life anymore because I'm not catering to anybody. I'm not a chef. I'm still a licensed chef, but I'm not a working chef. So I owe you nothing and I'm not catering to you. So don't ask me to because I'm not. And this is who I am now. I've built boundaries and, I don't care who you are. I'm hoping that this YouTube channel thing, if I can buy a GoPro and, videotape stuff that goes on the property a little bit, and, maybe I'll get subscribers and talk about what it's like to live this way and the mistakes I made and what I've done to remedy the mistakes and how it's working out for me. I have plum trees coming in September. One of my brother's properties, he has a whole pile of plum trees. So he's digging out 6-foot tall plum trees for me. I'm getting about 10 of them, and they're going to be transplanted on my property, and I'm going to start a food forest, which is another thing. This is why I don't want animals. Number one, animals are a lot of work, and I just don't have it in me. I have my daily chores that I have to do every day, like the porta potty, dishes, things like that, cooking, eating, watering my plants, keeping snow entrances open, things like that. But even plowing my driveway, I hire a plow for the season at $750 a season. But since we never got a season this year, last year's season that's paid for is now paid for next year. So that's one less bill for me. But outside of that, I'm a very private person. People that do come to visit me, whatever happens on my property stays on my property. I don't want people that come here and yak attack to everybody else. Evelyn Churan's doing this. Evelyn Churan's doing that. I can tell people what I'm doing on my own. I don't need your mouth to advertise me. Because the stuff that these people are advertising is not nice stuff. And they're making it out to sound like I'm living this big, bad life. Well, I don't know. I think pulling weeds and gardening and minding my own business is not living a bad life. I go swimming. My hair's still wet. I go in the swimming pool every morning to get my day started. I only go in for like 2 seconds, get wet, do a dive, do another dive, and come back out and start my day. Yes, I do smoke cigarettes, and that's my bad habit. That's my addiction. It's been my addiction since I'm 13 years old. I don't need people telling me, "Oh my God, you smoke inside your cabin?" I'll never smoke. Well, that's not my business. What I do inside of my cabin is Evelyn's business, not everybody else's. So if you don't like the fact that I smoke inside my cabin, then don't come here. You're not welcome here. You don't pay my bills. I'm getting really sick and tired of people telling me how to live. I was micromanaged so bad in my workplace that I couldn't even think straight. I was having nervous breakdowns on a daily basis, crying all the time, depressed, angry, frustrated, jittery, nervous, looking over my shoulder. I don't want that in my life anymore. I have to cut it all out. So I'm going to change that subject. And I'm going to try and do videos of the build and of my cabin and how things are going along. If anybody has any questions about it, feel free to ask me. I'm going to try and start doing videos in the mornings. Unfortunately, sometimes YouTube is very slow and it doesn't always work. So sometimes I have to turn it off, restart it. I don't have a regular camera. Internet is very slow here. And when I do get thunderstorms here, internet goes down. All I could get out here was ExploreNet. I could go with the other guys, that Elon Musk thing, but here's the problem with the Elon Musk internet. You have to pay $700 for the set. You have to set it up yourself. No, not for me. I'm not an electrician. I don't understand that kind of stuff. I'm not willing to learn it. With the internet I have, it's ExploreNet. It's not the best, but it isn't the worst. I've seen worse. And they take care of all the equipment. They set it up, they tear it down, they maintain it. And it's the same price as if I'm dealing with Elon Musk and I don't have to maintain it. And I don't have to set it up. If I set up internet on my own and I break it at $700 a component, the onus is on me. It's going to cost me another $700 to get another component. Do I want that headache? Absolutely not. I'm 60 years old. So on that note, I'm not doing the Elon Musk. I'm sticking with ExploreNet. I'd rather pay the rental to them. They maintain it. They take care of it. Not my headache. I don't touch it. They deal with it. Oh, well, it's guaranteed. Let them deal with it. And even so, with the Elon Musk, it's still over $100 a month to run it. And I'm paying the same cost with ExploreNet, except that I don't own the equipment and I don't maintain it. So it comes out to the same thing. So I'm not getting Elon Musk equipment because I'm not setting that crap up. And that's the reason why I didn't go with the solar too, because you need to be an electrician to understand that if something goes wrong, because by the time somebody would come out to fix it, if you hire a company to do it, you're probably waiting a month in the winter. And I don't need the headache. It's $2,000 in gasoline to run a freaking generator. I don't want it. I don't want those headaches. I want to live maintenance free, cost free, or the lowest cost possible. Once this place is done being built and everything's into place, it's probably going to be another year or two before everything's done. And I pay off my loans. My cost of living is $500-$600 a month at the most. I have to think about pensioning. I don't want the high life with the cable TV and the televisions and all the bling bling. I'm not into the bling bling. I'm not that kind of girl. I don't want a boyfriend that buys me $7,000 diamond rings because you can't eat the diamond when you're hungry. You can't even sell them in a bad economy. And you'll never get the $6,000-$7,000 for them. You'll probably get $50 for it. So it's not worth it. That's something I learned about jewelry in my 20s. I've got a pile of jewelry that I don't even wear. Waste of money. I can't even melt the gold down to make money on it. It's just not worth it. Maybe an ounce of gold I have. Big deal. It's not worth it. So anyways, on that note, I'm just going to live the way I'm living. If people don't like it, don't come here. But you know what? Don't gossip about me and freak out on me because I do a wellness check on you or I'm worried about you. If you're concerned about friends being worried about you and doing a checkup on you, then you're the one with the problem, because I have nothing to hide. If somebody does a wellness check on me out here, I know that person cares about me and they did what they thought was right at the time. I'm grateful if somebody does a wellness check on me. If I'm not feeling well or I'm scared one night from something, which I'm doing better with because I have cameras on the property now, and I can turn the camera on and I can see what's going on the property and then call the police or call them through Facebook or whatever. But a person that does wellness check on me tells me that they give a damn about me and they're worried about me. They're not being a gossip. They're not being a troublemaker. They're looking out for your health and welfare. And the people that don't understand that, then you're the one with the problem, because cops aren't there always to hurt you. Yes, there's bad cops, but there's really good cops too. And you know what? My experiences with 90% of police across Canada have been good. Yeah, there's been the odd arsehole, but every career has them. Believe me, I know it firsthand. I've worked with many arseholes. But boy, oh boy, I'll tell you, if I'm ever in trouble and somebody calls the police to do a wellness check on me, I'm grateful that somebody's looking out for me. So if you think that that's a bad thing in your life, I feel sorry for you. Because not all police officers are bad, and they're generally looking out for your better interest. If somebody calls to do a wellness check on you, it's because that person's worried about your health and welfare. Anyways, long story short, I've got to get on with my day. I've got a driller coming today. I'll try to videotape what he's doing if I can get his permission to do it. I have to get his permission first before I videotape it. But it might do some advertising for him too. Anyways, have a nice day, everyone. Churan's Tiny Homestead, check it out. Bye.